Alright, Halos, how's it going? Sorry it's been such a long time. Basically, my schedule changed and another person's schedule changed, so we just don't have a lot of time to record. So I'm probably going to try to do, I don't know, yeah, I'm just going to try to upload whenever I can mostly, but I'll try to get maybe like 1 or 2 videos out a week. I'd like to do more if possible, but we'll see at this point. But yeah, thanks for sticking around and I appreciate it. Either way, I know this is a bit of an older patch, almost a month ago actually as of the time I'm recording this, but we're going to do some recap patches. So I'm going to do the last, I think there's 3 of them. There's this one and then 2 more. So we'll do those and then get those uploaded. I might space them out a little bit just because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time and I'm not going to be able to do like a video a day anymore, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to that more sooner than later, but we'll see. Either way, let's jump into patch 25.14 notes, kind of a recap like I said, because this is a bit of an older patch now. This is the patch just after MSI, I believe. So yeah, anyways, alright, there's the highlights, of course. Let's jump into the next stuff. So Yunara was released, I believe, yep, so July 16, about a month ago actually. I still haven't got to play her. I'm gonna hopefully record that and try her out. I was an ADC player for quite a while actually, so I was a mid player first, and then I switched to ADC because the team I was on, I thought that the guy that was going to be their mid, because we had 2 mids basically, there was him and me, and I was like, I think he's going to be really good at mid, and I think he'll be better than me probably at the time, and then I think I will be good at ADC. I just need to learn it. So I learned ADC and then I've been playing that pretty much ever since. But I've tried to switch back to mid a little bit here and there. I just haven't had a lot of time lately. But either way, she's an ADC and I really want to try her because she looks pretty cool. So, alright. The Battle of Koshin and Koshin's Courtyard. So yeah, there's like a little mini game. I'm hoping it's not completely gone because I have not had a chance to play it. Yeah, I literally haven't had a chance to play for like, honestly, it's been like more than a month. But either way, yeah, so pretty cool. As you guys may or may not know, I am a Xin Zhao one trick pretty much. I mean, I play other stuff too, obviously, but yeah, he is my main for sure, and he's awesome. So it's really cool to see him kind of leading the story, even though there's like so many other champions that they could be working on, or like, you know, focusing on for these regions and stuff. So yeah, anyways, pretty cool. But yeah, I'll definitely have to go into this game if it's still around. I'm hoping it is. I don't know when it's ending though. Looks like Mac OS, OpenGL to Metal transition, DirectX changes. Champions. All right, here we go. So Azir getting 25 extra base HP. Nothing crazy, but definitely a little bit nicer, slightly tankier. W Arise is getting, looks like, plus 5% AP scaling at every rank, which I believe are just his soldiers basically. So that could be pretty large, especially since he's like DPS. And these small things can actually help quite a bit. Obviously, that's less like early game and more late game because it's an AP scaling thing. But anyways, Braum is up next. So yeah, pretty nice for Azir rather. Braum is getting 5 more armor taken off. I believe they nerfed him either the last patch or maybe they're nerfing him the next patch from this one as well. I can't remember. But yeah, down by 5 armor. So it was 47, now it's 42. He is super tanky, honestly. So, and that is quite a high base armor, just like rank 1 basically, right? So that makes sense that he is getting nerfed. I understand, and I kind of like it, so it's fine. Briar are certain deaths. So it looks like they are kind of doing bug fixes here. So CC cleanse on her R was CC is cleansed when the missile hits. Now it's going to be Briar is cleansed when the missile hits and is now immune to CC for the 1.25 seconds cast animation that plays after the missile hits. So yeah, basically you can't get CC'd while you're doing the animation or whatever. After you hit the missile. So yeah, that makes sense. Kind of basically while she's traveling, I guess, right? So yeah, that makes sense, I think. Fixed a bug where W Frenzy would sometimes prioritize minions if Briar casts Q on an enemy champion standing near an allied minion. That's kind of weird, but yeah, good thing they fixed that. Next up, we got Darius. So Q Decimate heal is actually getting buffed here quite a bit. Missing health heal was 15, 30, and 45% based on 1, 2, or 3 plus targets. And now it's going to be 17, 34, and 51% based on 1, 2, and 3 plus targets. So pretty nice, honestly. Just extra buffs there. It's nothing like super crazy, I don't think, but his heal can get pretty crazy at times. So this just getting stronger is pretty nice for him. So good for Darius. Fiora's up next. We have Grand Challenger R. Heal per second was 40 to 100% based on rank, and then based on vitals as well. And then now it's just going to be 100% always. So the heal per second zone, once she gets all 4 of them, will always be like the full heal, basically. And then obvious healing circle effects now persist for the full 5-second duration. No gameplay change. Okay, so that's just pretty much more clarity, be able to see that she has the healing circle a little bit easier, because it can sometimes blend into the not the pavement, but yeah, the ground, basically. All right, Fizz up next. Haven't seen Fizz in a minute, but he's getting some super nice buffs here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so W, Sea Stone, Trident. The cooldown was 7 to 5 based on rank seconds, and now it's going to be 7 to 3, actually, so it's just down 1 second. I mean, you just get, 1 second faster each rank. So, but the old one was 5 seconds at the max rank, and now it's 3. So it's quite a large change. And yeah, it's just really nice for Fizz. I mean, nice buffs there for sure. And then E, Playful Trickster, his main ability basically, was going from, the flat's unchanged, but the AP scaling is actually up by 5% basically. So now was 90%, now it's 95% AP, which is pretty large for sure. And that ability already does like a ton of damage, so pretty nice for him. Kled is up next. So it looks like this is the one where they had like a kind of mini rework sort of for Kled. So his passive, Skarl the Cowardly Lizard. Dismounted Kled auto attack damage against champions was 80%. Now it's 85 to 100%. So it's just better. Auto attack damage against champions. Okay. At levels 1, 6, 11, and 16. But yeah, literally better at every rank in that part. All right. Skarl health is going to be 400 to, it was 400 to 1550 based on linear scaling. Now it's 400 to 1400. So it's a little bit less later on. The stat progression is, or the stat progression multiplier scaling, I think that means, actually I'm not sure. This update will just mean Skarl's health will follow the same rules other champions stats do. Okay, so basically level ups and stuff, I guess, instead of just like based on the time of the game, I guess, or something. All right, and then courage gained from minion last hits will be 5 instead of 4. Interesting. All right. And then, so last hitting while you're dismounted will be, better. Dismounted and charge faster. And then dismounted speed boost acquisition range, let's see, was 1,000. Now it is going to be 1,200. Sorry, just have to move the mic a little bit. It might sound weird. Speed boost acquisition range is now 1,200. So while you're dismounted, you get like a speed boost when you're moving toward enemy champions, I believe, and now it's going to be a larger range that you can do. So it's pretty nice. Nothing crazy, but definitely nice. Dismounted move speed reduction was negative 60. Now it's negative 40. So nice buff there as well. Less of a penalty. And then dismounted bonus move speed toward enemy champions was 100 to 185 based on level. Now it's 70 to 155, so that's a lot less, and then that's based on level as well. But at the same time, you are gaining like, well, I don't know, actually, never mind. Yeah, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a nerf there. That's fine. Skarl health gained on remount was 45 to 75%. Now it's 40 to 70%. So just a little bit of nerf there on the health gained upon remount. Courage from takedowns was 20, now it's 0. And then Skarl's health is now granted at the beginning of the remount sequence upon... Wait, what? Skarl's health is now granted at the beginning of the remount sequence upon gaining 100 courage, rather than at the end of the remount sequence. Oh, okay. So he gets it immediately. Gotcha. Okay, and then dismounted Kled now gains 1% bonus HP as armor and magic resist. And then increased by 20% for each nearby enemy champ, up to 2% bonus HP. Okay. And then dismount dash time is now consistently 0.75 seconds every time dismount. Okay. Gotcha. All right, seems all right. And then Q mounted bear trap and a rope. So initial hit bonus AD, or initial hit bonus AD ratio was 65%. Now it's going to be 60%. No, total damage from initial hit and pull reduced from. Oh, okay. The total damage from initial hit and the pull was reduced from 195% bonus AD to 180% bonus AD. All right, so yeah, they are nerfing that pretty largely, especially the first hit. And then slow was 40 to 60%. Now it's 30 to 50% based on rank. And okay, so just down by 10% at every rank. That makes sense, I think. Slow duration was 1.5 seconds, but now it's 2.5 seconds. Okay, wow, that's a large buff. Okay, and then now calculates pull damage on pull rather than when the tether is attached. Okay, now checks a small area around Cled's 0 point before the missile is fired. Okay. Interesting. No longer applies grievous wounds on pull. Okay. So it doesn't do grievous wounds anymore. That's pretty big. That's fine though, I guess. Pull timer is now consistently exactly 1 3/4 seconds every time. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then Q dismounted pocket pistol. So ammo charge time was 20 to 7.5 seconds based on level. Now it's 18 to 10 based on rank. Yeah, 18 to 10 seconds based on rank. Okay, so kind of better. Slightly better early and then a little bit worse late, I guess. But it's also based on ability rank. Although I think you are probably maxing your Q. I'm not sure actually what his max is right now. I know sometimes you go W, I feel like. But anyways, speaking of W, violent tendencies is up next. So we have, let's see, what do we have? The flat is unchanged on the damage. The percentage of target's max health. Well, the percentage flat is unchanged, but it was plus 1% per 20 bonus AD. Now it's plus 1% per 50 bonus AD. So that's a bit of a nerf there on the scaling there of the max health. But it also has plus 1% per 250 bonus health. So actually, yeah, it basically just encourages you to build HP more than bonus AD, because it also scales off of that in terms of the enemy's max health that you're dealing in damage. Okay, does that make sense? I think that makes sense. All right, cooldown was 11 to 5 seconds. Now it's 13 to 9 though. Okay, so that's a bit of a nerf, quite a bit actually, especially later. Super sorry about that. My bad. All right. Okay. And then let's see. Sorry. All right. Where am I? I scrolled down a little bit accidentally. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, big nerf on the cooldown there. Attacking enemies while violent tendencies is on cooldown now reduces the remaining cooldown. Oh, okay. 1.5 second reduction for champion attacks and 0.5 second reduction for non-champions. Okay, that's not bad then actually. Actually, I would say this is a buff then for the cooldown personally. Yeah, that seems really nice. No longer starts the W sequence when attacking wards. Good. Instead, attacking wards matches plant behavior and maintains the attack speed without consuming W. Plant maintains the attack speed. Okay, yeah. This is oh, okay, but you do still get the attack speed bonus, I guess then. Wow, that's really nice. Yeah, that's super nice actually. Okay, cool. Pretty. I would argue this is a buff for his W, to be honest. Though it encourages him to be a bit more tanky than rather just like build bruisery, or I guess bruisery makes sense actually, but I guess instead of just building full damage. Jousting is up next, so we have damage. Let's see, flat is unchanged, but the percentage bonus AD scaling was plus 65. Now it's plus 55, so it's a bit of a nerf there. That's fine though. Now is a HUD tracker to indicate how long you will have to recast E2. Okay, cool. And then now has a range indicator while E2 is active. Okay, cool. Yep, that seems good. Don't have any problems with that. Our charge, minimum damage, let's see, was 4 to 6% flat. Now it's 4 to 8% flat. And then plus 4% bonus, per 100 bonus AD of target's maximum health. Now it's plus 3% per 100 bonus AD of target's maximum health. So a little bit of a nerf there in the scaling, but I feel like that's pretty easily made up for in the flat damage as well. And then it's pretty much going to be the same thing for the maximum damage, I think. So it was 12 to 18%, now it's 12 to 24. Plus 12% per 180 was the old, now it's plus 9% per 180 of target's maximum health. So, okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, that seems good. And then the damage type was physical, now it's magic. So, okay, alright. And then now it's a ping override for pinging the ultimate's range. Override for pinging the, what? Ping override for pinging the ultimate's range. Interesting. Oh, okay. I think if you like ping your ability to tell other people about that, it tells you what enemy champions are in range. Maybe, I'm not sure though. A lot of bug fixes here. Feel free to read through those. I'm not going to go through all of them on this video, but feel free to pause and read those if you haven't already. Anyway, Lee Sin, base AD was 69, now it's 66, so a little bit down by 3. Pretty good. I mean, a decent sized nerf for him for sure. But he does have pretty high AD. Actually, it looks like 69 is pretty high for a champ, I would say, overall. Anyway, that's fine for me. I'm not too worried about it. Riven's up next. So passive Runic Blade. AD ratio was 30 to 60% based on level. Now it's 30 to 50%. So a little bit of a nerf there, especially later in the game. But I don't think that's too big of a deal, honestly. She has a pretty strong scaling anyway. Set is up next. Armor growth was 5.2, now it's 4.7. This is really not that big of a deal, but definitely a bit of a nerf for him. Alright, Twisted Fate Wild Cards is Q. Was 70 to 250 flat, now it's 60 to 240, so basically down by 10 points at every rank. And then looks like everything else is unchanged, so yeah. Alright, that's fine. I'm not too worried about that really. His wave clear can be pretty big too, or pretty crazy sometimes. I wonder if this affects his wave clear like break points at all. It probably does. I'm not sure. All right, and then Yasuo, AD growth was 3. Now it's 2.5. Oh wow, that's actually decent. I mean, it's nothing. It's really not huge, but it definitely nerfs him a bit. That's fine, I think. Yeah. So every two levels, basically, you're losing 1 point of AD that you would have had extra. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, really. You only get 18 levels, so to cut that in half, that's what, 9? Yeah. So you're losing 9 AD throughout your entire leveling process. Not that crazy, I don't think. It's decent, but it's nothing crazy. That's at level 18, if you get to level 18. Most games, I don't think you will. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Either way, Yumi, our final chapter, heal per hit is flat as unchanged, but the AP scaling was plus 15%, now it's plus 10%, so a little bit less of a heal on hit from her R. Not that big of a deal, but definitely something, I think. I don't think it's a huge deal, at least. I could be wrong. Q balancing bomb for Ziggs. Damage looks like down by 5 points at every rank, flat. And then the AP scaling was plus 65% AP. Now it's plus 60 starting, and then it goes to 80% actually based on rank now. So that's really huge, actually. A nice, huge buff, I would say, for Ziggs. Because this is the first ability you're maxing anyway. So you're going to get basically plus 15% AP scaling on your main ability. That's super nice, I feel like. Yeah, that is really nice. Okay, cool. Explosive Minefield. Let's see, damage per mine was 30 to 190. Now it's going to be 30 to 190, so it's unchanged. But the plus 30% AP is now going to be plus 25 to plus 45% scaling. So same thing as his Q, basically. It's just better, literally. Yeah, it's just better. Yeah, okay. All right. I guess like the first level, you could argue, is slightly worse, maybe, but very slightly. Same thing for his Q, basically. But yeah. All right. Our Mega Inferno Bomb maximum center damage. Let's see, was 300 to 600. Now it's 300 to 700 based on rank. So at level 2 it's up 50. At level 3 it's up 100 flat. And then the plus 110% AP scaling is now plus 100% AP scaling. It says note max or minimum damage is still 2/3 of max damage. Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually wasn't sure about that. So that's good to know. That's just the center damage though, of course. But yeah, like it says, the minimum damage is still 2/3 of max damage. So I guess after 300 would be 200 damage. Okay. All right, Zoe up next. Yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like this is a really nice buff for Ziggs, though, honestly. Okay, anyways. Zoe, Q Paddle Star, damage was 7 to 50 based on level. And then the other stuff is unchanged, the scalings. But it's now going to be 2 to 50 based on levels. So I feel like a decent sized nerf, especially early game. But, okay, interesting. Q Paddle Star. All right, and then what else do we have? W Spell Thief, total damage was 75 to 195 plus 40% AP. Now it's going to be 60 to 180 plus 45% AP. So AP scaling going up by 5%, which is really nice. And then the flat damage is getting nerfed by 15 points at every rank. I think that's fine, though, honestly. It is pretty strong, honestly. So I think it's all right. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, next we got items. So Blade of the Rune King. Current health on hit was going to be 8% melee and 5% range. Now it's up by 1% for both. So it's 9% melee and 6% range now. So just a nice slight buff to Blade of the Rune King. I like it. It would be nice if it was back to 12%. Excuse me. All right, Haunting Guys. Maximum Haunting Guys in inventory was 6. Now it's 1. I don't know why this wasn't a thing to begin with, but I don't really think it's a big deal anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, all right. There you go. You can only buy one of these in your inventory now. Kraken Slayer is getting buffed here. Which is, yes, thank you. Price was 3,100. Now it's 3,000. The damage amp based on missing health is also 0 to 75% now of their missing, or based on their missing health. Yeah, and then it was 0 to 50%. So now it's 0 to 75%. So it's just straight up buffs for Kraken Slayer, which is really nice. It has got fallen by the wayside a little bit at times, so I appreciate that. It is one of my favorite items. Phantom Dancer is up next. So attack speed is, it's just buffs, yeah. So Phantom Dancer attack speed is going to be 65% from 60, and then it's 10% move speed from 8%. So yeah, just straight up buffs, really nice. Phantom Dancer is nice. It's a good item. People don't use it that much. I should use it more. Rod of Ages, mana was 400, now it's 500. Mana per stack is now 30 from 20, and then maximum mana is going to be 800 from 600. So a buff on Rod of Ages and mana, basically, which makes sense, I think. I don't think it's a big deal. You should definitely get more, in my opinion. So, yep, that's cool. All right, that's it for items. Runes are up next. So Guardian is getting... I don't know, actually. Let's check. Shield was 45 to 120 flat. Now it's 45 to 150 flat, so it's a nice buff there. The plus 12%, sorry, plus 12.5% AP plus 8% bonus HP is now going to be plus 15% AP and plus 5% bonus HP. So actually a little better for AP scaling, but a lot, I would say a decent amount worse for, quite a bit worse for bonus HP scaling. But okay, minimum damage threshold for trigger was 90 to 250. Now it's 50 to 165. Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't even know there was a minimum damage threshold. That's kind of interesting. Okay. But yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, just buffs for Guardian, basically. Unsealed Spellbook Smite. So it was smite damage based on swaps, 600, 900, and 1200 based on levels, and then now it's going to be 600, 600, 900. So yeah, it just makes sense that it shouldn't be as strong as like an actual Jak'Sho smite. That's pretty good, I think. And then bounty from farming was 1 per 17.5 gold. Now it's 1 per 20 gold, so that's good. And then bounty suppression thresholds made wider by 25%. Okay. Arena changes. Feel free to pause and read this, or go to the link in the description where I have the leak for the patch notes as well. Definitely check that stuff out if you haven't. I'm not too worried about checking it out here though. All right, and then augments, items for arena, miscellaneous. Okay, so mages. Oh, okay. Ability power stat shards. Interesting. Oh wait, no, this is still arena. My bad. Okay, yep, that's all arena. Bandle City rather Cup Clash is going to be. It already happened actually. So hopefully you guys got some games in. That's pretty cool. And then English VO updates. Okay, we're going to be adding VO for few legendary plus skins that released over the past few months. So here's a list of skins with VO coming as well as the patch they will be released in. So 2514, we're getting Risen Legend Kaisa and Immortalized Legend Kaisa. And then 2515, we're getting Spirit Blossom Aurelia, Spirit Blossom Ash, and Battle Academia Zaya. So voiceovers will be added to those skins. That's really cool. And then what else do we have? Bug fixes and quality life changes. Like I said, always say, definitely take a look through these, at least scan them just to see if things are related to champions you play or just in general. Sometimes it can be quite large. Oh, there's a Zinzao one here. Fixed a bug that caused Zinzao's W increased dash range indicated to be displayed even if the ability was blocked by a spell shield. Oh yeah, it did. Alright. And that should be it for the changes here. We do have a few skins here, it looks like, which looks pretty cool. We've got actually Spirit Blossom Springs Yunara. I just believe it's going to be your first skin. I don't know if they're going to be changing that at all, but that's that one. We've got Nightbringer Hecarim. Yeah, looks pretty decent. Nightbringer Yumi. Oh wow, that's an interesting skin choice for Yumi. It works honestly. Dawnbringer Callista as well. Looks a little odd, but it's fine. It's not bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this time around. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next part. All right, thank you. Peace.